Today was the first day I spoke with Lord Kazai directly. In fact, it was the first time he led one of our training sessions. Before this, I had only seen him in person once as he passed through our camp. I was in awe of him, to be honest. The legendary tales and rumors don't do him justice. His presence is captivating, and there is this aura about him that exudes confidence. That day I saw him in passing lifted my spirits and made me more eager to fight for Onyx. You can then imagine the impact it had having him lead us in a training session. Most of us were full of excitement, but I was also very nervous. What if my footing was wrong? What if my technique was off? I wanted to impress him. Don't get me wrong, up until this point we were already being trained by some of Onyx's heroes. Seldric was a legend in his own right. The man had been training Onyx soldiers since long before most of us were born. But more importantly, his time as a soldier himself is sung about in songs and written about in poems. The fight between Onyx and Obsidian is even older than Seldric, and one of their most talked about confrontations was the Battle of Arkden. At this time, Lord Unden was running Onyx, and Lord Kazai, before he was the Lord of Onyx, wasn't even involved in this battle because he was still too young. At this battle, Seldric fought against the King Wellick-ruled Obsidian army, most notably a man known as the Beast of Aular. If you know anything about Aular, then you know that that town is full of barbarians. So if you're known as the Beast from there, you must be a big deal, and a physically big Fenin. Some say he was twice the size of Seldric, but Seldric defeated him in one-on-one combat to end the battle. One of the first major victories for Onyx against Obsidian. We've also had the pleasure of being trained by Sade on a few occasions. She is mostly all about technique and honing our skills, so we're more precise when we strike. She teaches with grace and beauty. Though she's a woman of few words, I prefer her teaching style since she teaches slowly and in a clear way for us to fully understand. She also has a keen eye, so she can really tell if we're not getting something, and focuses more on that until we get it right. I can't say I know much about her former battles or heroic tales, but I know she's been with Lord Kazai for most of his journey. That alone makes anything she could teach us very valuable. And that brings us to today, learning with Lord Kazai. I recall grabbing my katana's handle while it was still sheathed tightly to keep my hand from shaking, and forming a fist with the other to try to hide my nerves. I was ready to show him what I had learned. To my surprise, we didn't train with katanas today. Lord Kazai's main focus in training is the spiritual side of things. He taught us that fighting is a key part in war, obviously, but there are rules he follows that are much more important. War is as much a battle of the mind as it is a battle of the body, he said to us. Victory for the people around you and the people of Onyx is important, he added. But victory should be won with the heart, just as much with the sword. Lord Kazai then proceeded to teach us how to meditate, and the best practices for before and after a battle or training session. He told us he wanted us to do this every day up until the war, and during the war if we could find the time for it. It was a rather peaceful, relaxing, and spiritual experience. Definitely not as we expected, but absolutely what we needed. The last thing he said to us was, "Do you know why we will defeat King Ingvar and the Obsidian army? Because we are smarter. We care more for those standing beside us, and most importantly, we are more disciplined."